Hi everyone, this is Mr. Zirkle and this video discusses pest control methods. Since at least 2000 BC, humans have used pesticides to protect their crops from damage and increase crop yields. The ancient Sumerians used sulfur to protect their crops, while toxic chemicals such as arsenic, mercury, and lead were used in the 15th century. By the 17th century, nicotine sulfate was extracted from tobacco leaves for use as an insecticide, and in the mid-20th century, man-made chemicals such as DDT became widespread as pesticides. Pesticides are chemicals used to kill or control populations of undesirable organisms. They come in four main types: insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, and rodenticides. There are two general types of pesticides: broad-spectrum agents, which are toxic to many pests, but also toxic to beneficial species as well. They are used when many species of organisms are causing damage or when the specific organism causing the harm is unknown. Examples of this type of broad-spectrum pesticide are DDT, which we'll discuss later in the video, and methyl bromide. Alternatively, selective spectrum or narrow spectrum pesticides are applied when the organism causing the damage is known. These types of pesticides are designed to only kill specific types of organisms. Although pesticides seem like a great way to control pests, there are two major problems with their use. First, pesticides can bioaccumulate. This means that because an organism absorbs the chemical faster than it gets rid of it, the chemical begins to build up or accumulates inside the organism. This can lead to chronic poisoning of the organism and its eventual death. In addition to bioaccumulation, chemicals can also biomagnify. Biomagnification occurs when a chemical increases as you move up trophic levels. For instance, if mercury is present in an ecosystem, organisms at the bottom of the food chain may have small amounts of it present in their system. When they are eaten by organisms at higher trophic levels, the mercury present in their systems is incorporated into the organisms higher on the food chain. In this way, the mercury is present in greater and greater amounts in species higher on the food chain. A great example of biomagnification and its associated problems is with the now banned chemical DDT. DDT stands for dichloro-diphenyl-trichloroethane, and it's a chemical compound whose use as an insecticide was discovered in 1939 by Paul Hermann Mueller. It was used extensively in World War II to control malaria, a mosquito-borne disease, among troops and civilians. Mueller was given the Nobel Prize in Physiology for its discovery, and by 1945, DDT was available for public use, and its application in the household was encouraged. In the 1960s and 1970s, however, evidence began mounting that DDT was causing the deaths of birds and other species and endangering human lives. Scientists began realizing that DDT was biomagnifying up the food chain and was responsible for the thinning of the eggshells of raptors such as condors and peregrine falcons, causing a significant decline in their population. Even after DDT was banned, problems continued. DDT is a persistent organic pollutant, meaning it is resistant to environmental degradation through chemical or biological processes. Essentially, it means that it doesn't break down easily and sticks around for a long period of time. There are advantages to using synthetic pesticides. They can save human lives. DDT and other insecticides have been estimated to have saved over 7 million lives. They increase food supplies by reducing pests, and they increase profits for farmers. They usually work fast on the pest that they're targeting, and if used properly, health risks posed by most pesticides are low, and newer and safer methods are being used. Still, however, There are disadvantages in addition to biomagnification and bioaccumulation. They can accelerate genetic resistance in pests, they can kill beneficial species, and they can harm wildlife as well as humans. Also, it's important to note that pesticides don't stay put and can pollute the environment. Because of precipitation and wind, greater than 95% of pesticides don't reach their intended targets. There are alternatives to conventional pesticides. Farmers can fool the pest by rotating crops and adjusting planting times. They can also provide homes to pest enemies. This is done through the use of polyculture. Genetic engineering can be used to develop disease or pest-resistant crops. And farmers can also bring in natural enemies and repel pests with insect perfumes. A new, more environmentally friendly approach to pest management is something called IPM, or Integrated Pest Management. Integrated pest management involves evaluating crops and the pests that feed on them, and then developing a specifically tailored plan unique to each situation. In IPM, broad-spectrum, long-lived pesticides aren't used. Instead, biological methods such as natural predators and parasites and cultivation such as plant, altering planting times are used. Small amounts of narrow-spectrum pesticides are used occasionally when absolutely necessary. The problem with integrated pest management is that it requires expert knowledge, which causes it to be a little bit more expensive. Also, it's hindered by government subsidies for using conventional pesticides. When done correctly, pesticide use can be a beneficial way to increase profits and yields for farmers. Ongoing research into more environmentally friendly synthetic pesticides or alternative ways to control pests are needed. Alright, well, that's the end of this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please message us. Otherwise, we'll see you soon.